Hey everybody, welcome back. Stephanie again. Now that you've completed the getting started, we want to just give you some basic training and some basic information about our industry, our company, and what you're going to be doing, but primarily on telemedia sales. So today's learning objectives are going to be able to distinguish between cable and satellite services, the main differences between Dish and Directv, and then also AT&T and Comcast. So we're going to start with cable services first. Cable TV is brought to you by Comcast, and their main product is Xfinity. AT&T, their main product is Uverse, and then there's Charter and Frontier. So in the Fresno-Clovis market, it's primarily AT&T and Comcast, and they go head-to-head where service is available. Charter and Frontier, however, are a little bit more spread throughout the Central Valley and kind of have their own place and location in different parts of California. So for right now, we're just going to be focusing on cable companies, Xfinity versus Uverse. Cable internet, again, it's going to be Comcast, AT&T, Charter, and Frontier. And then just some more verbiage to put in your back pocket. We have the single play. So anytime a customer is going to sign up with a single service, whether it's just their phone, their TV, or their internet, that's called a single play. A double play is when a customer purchases both TV and phone, TV and internet, or just phone and internet. Whether if it's through one company or two, double play is usually a double hitter with, let's say, AT&T Uverse. Let's say they already have Dish Network. We're going to set them up with AT&T Uverse for phone and internet. Or let's say they have AT&T Uverse, but they really want to have Dish Network. We might hook them up with a single or double play. We'll get them TV with Dish and maybe phone or internet with another company. And then, of course, you have your triple play, your triple header. That's TV, phone, and internet with any one company. Here's just some basics on cable and what makes cable services distinguished and different from satellite. So cable is an underground utility. These are fibers and cables that run underground in neighborhoods and communities that provide cable services up into the homes for customers. Cable providers are under more regulations from the government than satellite providers. And because of that, they actually get hit with a lot more taxes by all the different municipalities that cable runs underneath the ground. So wherever cable runs, they kind of have to pay a tax for this company, that municipality, that county, this state, so on and so forth. They end up just passing those taxes back down onto the customer. Because of that reason, customers will see higher taxes on their cable bills. Cable service is an older technology compared to satellite, and I know when I grew up, we had cable. I don't even think satellite was even a forefront in our mind. It was still pretty new at that time, so I grew up with cable. But when it does come to internet connections, cable is always the preferred choice for internet connectivity and internet providers. So where high fiber is available, that's a great place to sell and to sell to those customers where fiber is available. Here's some more information about satellite services. So for satellite TV, our main competitors, but our main suppliers are going to be Dish Network and Directv. For satellite internet, there's a couple of different companies out there. You have Viasat, HughesNet, some other handful companies out there. Essentially, satellite internet is internet that only folks that live in rural outlying areas of their communities and neighborhood can get, because fiber would have to be built under the ground for them to get fiber internet. And a lot of people that live out in the country, just cable's not available. So the only way for them to get internet is through a satellite internet provider. So kind of the way satellite works, whether if it's TV or internet, they utilize satellites in the atmosphere and dishes on roofs to be able to communicate that signal. And in our history of how fast satellites progressed, typically satellite TV providers like Dish and Directv tend to supply customers a far superior product than its cable counterparts, mostly on price, but also on programming and on usability. Satellite has been around roughly for 30 years. It's gone through major transitions. Satellite dishes used to be huge, like 10 feet dishes, but now they're about as small as 1 feet in diameter. Satellites come a long way. Almost everyone has had satellite. So again, satellite uses dishes and satellites to communicate signal for TV and internet use. Satellite providers are under less regulations than cable providers in both installation and the taxes they pay. So when a customer signs up for service with Dish and Directv, they're going to see very little taxes on their bills compared to their cable counterparts. Satellite service is a newer technology. Almost everyone nowadays has had either Dish or Directv. It used to not be that way even 10 years ago. It's kind of a new technology, but almost everyone has experienced it. And even today, satellite TV is the preferred choice for TV compared to cable. Here's some basic information on Dish Network, just to kind of familiarize yourself with the Dish logo and Dish equipment. So when it comes to satellite companies, you have these boxes called receivers. That's the main communication hub that's connected to the main TV of the household. That box connects to the dish outside on the roof, and then of course that dish connects to the satellites in the atmosphere. So receivers can either record shows, in which they're called DVRs, a digital video recorder, or they don't record shows and they're just a standard receiver, which means they just receive signal. They can't actually record any shows. So again, this is just going to be some basic information. That way when you talk to customers and they, start talking about their dish service and how their Wally or their Hopper or their America's Top 200 package, at least you have an idea of what they're talking about, especially as an entry sales level person. But you will catch on and you'll get more and more information about products and equipment down the road. So Wallies with Dish Network are not DVRs. They can be set up to be DVRs, but typically they're just standard high definition receivers. The Hopper Sling can record 6 shows at once. The Hopper 3 can record 16 shows at once. And then the clients, called Joeys, match up to the receivers. So you have one main receiver on the main TV in the living room, let's say, and let's say a customer has 2 additional TVs, one in each other bedroom. Those clients are going to be smaller boxes as the one shown on the picture on top of the receiver, and those get paired up to the additional TVs. All of Dish's programming include America's Top 120, America's Top 120 Plus, America's Top 200, America's Top 250. The numbers don't really equate to how many channels they're getting. That's just the name of their packages. But those are the name of the packages and programming that customers will have when you have discussions with them. What Dish does have that DirecTV does not is Big Ten and Pac-12. These are networks that broadcast college football. If you have someone that loves college football, they're going to want or need Big Ten and Pac-12. And there's only maybe 1 or 2 other cable carriers that carry them, but this makes Dish Network special and different from DirecTV. Dish Network right now is offering a 2-year price lock. Both Dish and Direct require a customer to sign a 2-year commitment, a 2-year contract to be a customer. But right now, Dish is offering a 2-year price lock, which means in that 2 years of the contract, their price will not change. They offer free movie premiums for the first 3 months. Dish also has their own Dish satellite internet. If you have a rural customer and they don't have internet, you sell them Dish Network with internet, you just sold yourself a double play. But you can also bundle Frontier phone and Frontier internet with Dish Network services. Then, of course, there's DirecTV. So DirecTV's equipment's a little bit simpler, not so many different receivers. Right now, DirecTV has their Genie. It's a DVR. It records 5 shows at once. and its client to their other TVs is called the Mini. So you got the Genie and the Mini. Programming, people are either going to have the Select package, which is the most basic package, all the way up to Premier, which includes all of the movie shows, all the premium shows, all the sports shows, and everything else in between is going to have some give and take and then build upon the next program. But we'll get more into that once you start to become training for a closer. The one thing that makes Directv different and special from Dish is that it has a Sunday NFL ticket and it is exclusive to Directv. No other cable company, satellite company, nobody else can compete or compare because it is exclusive to Directv. So if you have a pro football fan and they have to watch their show every weekend throughout the season, but their home team is on the East Coast or somewhere that the local stations aren't playing, they have to get the Sunday ticket if they want to see their shows. And a lot of the times, new customers can get the Sunday ticket for free if they purchase the choice package or higher. Right now, Directv has a 1-year price promotion, but it does require a 2-year price lock. So that means the second year of their contract, their price will go up to the regular retail price. But they also throw in some free movie premiums for the first free month. And because AT&T purchased Directv and is now the same company, you can actually get additional discounts on your Directv if you also happen to have in certain AT&T cell phone plans. And then, of course, you can always sell a double play or a triple play because AT&T Uverse provides phone and internet. So that's just a little information there and some tidbits about Directv. And then, of course, when it comes to Uverse and Xfinity, these two are cable giants. They're huge, and they're huge in this area. So what might make them special? Well, to be all honest, they're pretty much the same. I would recommend that if you come across customers that have Xfinity for internet and they like their internet speeds, they don't have any trouble with buffering, or their price is all right, I would say don't touch the internet. Don't sell them anything else. Xfinity internet speeds tend to be faster than AT&T. However, if AT&T fiber optics are available, they will get much faster speeds with AT&T fiber. More on that when you become a closer. Xfinity does offer customers 2 different pricing. It's called contract pricing and no contract pricing. So if a customer wants to save money, they're going to have to enter a contract. But if they're okay spending a little bit more money and don't want to be tied into a contract, there's that option as well. If a customer has AT&T Uverse for cable, but if they want better programming, if they want better price, Directv is the way to go all the way. And here's just a little bit of information and resources that would be important for you to dive in. I wouldn't spend too much time understanding all of the products and the intricate details because there's a lot of information on each of these websites. But I would recommend taking a look and gander at all these different companies and just get a feel for their marketing, their branding. What are they offering customers? What kind of price? What kind of packaging? Just to help familiarize yourself with these different companies. It's just really going to help you in the end when you're having conversations with customers. And that is our lesson for the day. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And go ahead and progress to the next session. And until then, until I see you again, ABC.